William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Macabre, a novel by Kosoko Jackson, performed by Kevin R. Free. For Sydney, the House of Shadows, and, of course, Cat, thank you for inspiring my turning. Prologue. The Guardian did it better. Lewis Dixon didn't know how long he had been staring at the newspaper in his hand. Long enough that the words didn't read like actual words, just a mixture of black smudges on the paper. Long enough for the antiseptic smell of the hospital waiting area to turn his nostrils numb. He looked up, following the voice to its owner. He drank in her visage, bathing in the starkness of her blonde, short-cut hair. The tall, lanky frame and the high cheekbones and warm, bright blue eyes burned into his mind. He would remember her. As a painter, he enjoyed people. They were always his favorite thing to immortalize within his art. It was ironic, really, because he found himself born a few centuries too late to capitalize on that skill. No one in the 21st century was paying for elegantly done portraits. And yet, if he had found a way to cut in line before God, Buddha, or whoever had punted him onto Earth, he would have made a killing. Or, at least, probably far more than he made now. He brought his thoughts back to this woman, and a new thought struck him. She's not someone who seems like they should be in this hospital. Too privileged, too perfect in the way she spoke. "The article you're reading," she said, gesturing with the hand that held a coffee cup. "The oligarch and his family found dead in Russia, frozen inside their home, even though no doors or windows were open. The Guardian had a segment on it, already interviewing Russian sources." "That sounds dangerous. Russia is not a bastion of free speech," he replied. He didn't want to talk, and he knew his words sounded hollow. He might love the idea of people as an artistic concept, but this wasn't really the moment he wanted to explore that. And yet, responding was the respectful thing to do. His mother, who was in a hospital room halfway down the hall, would have wanted him to. Besides, he would be lying if he didn't admit how interested he was in his roommate at MedStar Harbor Hospital in downtown Baltimore. Elegant, refined, the type of person whose consonants were polished round from good breeding and the right type of education the wrong type of money could buy. Those types didn't find their way to Baltimore. Definitely not this part of Baltimore. Washington, D.C., sure, but never Charm City. That, in and of itself, meant there was a story here. And there wasn't an artist alive who didn't love a good story wrapped around a beautiful muse. "Agreed. But isn't journalism supposed to report the truth, no matter the consequences?" "I suppose," he said, sidestepping the earnestness her declaration tried to stab him with. "Who are you here for?" Maybe they could bond over that. The problem was, again, that Lewis didn't particularly want to bond. More, Lewis knew what would happen next. She would tell him, he would sympathize, and then she would ask the same question in return. He would have to explain that his mother had tried to call his father, who hadn't answered because he was on a work trip, because she felt funny. How she passed out while dialing Lewis, after leaving a voicemail for his father, and when the ambulance came, blood was pouring out of her eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. An aneurysm, they said. Nothing like they had seen before, but it was the only logical explanation. He would have to tell this stranger the doctors didn't seem confident about that. But the answer the woman gave? That was a surprise. "I'm a donor here," she said. Blood donor? That would explain it. For a relative, of course. She wouldn't be caught dead in some place like this otherwise. She laughed, light, like a flint crackling. "It sometimes feels like blood, but no, money."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?